Murder song. An interesting start, is it not? Kind of no intro. We're right in there with the vocals, aren't we? Now you could call that an intro, and I choose to because it then comes with the verse after it. You could also maybe call it the chorus. But we're gonna have some issues with this one, maybe. Yeah, why not? Let's call it the chorus. So we're starting with the chorus. This does occasionally happen. It's pretty rare, but there's maybe 4/3 songs that I've looked at by Aurora that do this, depending on how you classify it. But yeah, let's call that the chorus. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we started with that. We started straight in with the vocals and the piano. I guess that was something else interesting about Little Boy in the Grass, wasn't it? That instrumentally, we really just had layered drums, a tiny bit of synthesizer pinning the bass down, and then just huge amounts of vocals and piano. That was it. No other textural elements other than the various drums that came in, which probably were more than normal. But in the previous tracks, we've had more play with other live instruments, guitars and what else? Synthesizers. So live instruments maybe a bit strong, but yeah, lots of synthesizers. Not in that one. Let's see what happens. Verse. Maybe not a whole verse, but what have we got there? 4 very equally balanced bits of melody. Da 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 da. 2 notes each. So easy to say that's like an A, a B, and a C, and a D, all very equally balanced. Yeah, and we've sort of gone down in texture from the intro, but that's not really what's happened. We have fewer instruments, but because the vocals were all working together, I like to think of them as one instrument. And so when we're coming into the verse here, we've still just got one vocal instrument, and it is overall larger in the texture. It's louder, and it takes up more space. So I would call it the same, equivalent textural element. So this is new, isn't it? This doesn't feel like the chorus that we started with at all. And there's no vocal apart from "and here I go," which we ended the pre-chorus with. So I would be quite happy to call it part of the pre-chorus, but then it does recur in this section. So maybe it's happening similarly to Little Boy in the Grass, where we began the chorus early with the melody, and then everything caught up as we changed into beat 1 of the chorus. And here I go. But really, it's texture that is king here. We've got a bit of melody on what instrument? Some kind of plinky... I don't know. I don't know what instrument it is, if it is an instrument. It's got a plinky sound to it. Like maybe a zither or something like that, dulcimer. It's a fun sound. It's definitely something new, something we haven't heard on these previous ones. I guess it has a little bit of a connection to the do 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 in Awakening. What would we call that? I struggled with it then, didn't I? Some kind of tuned percussion. This isn't percussion. This clearly has some strings, I would say, but it feels like it occupies a similar place. And we've got one vocal that is very clearly emotionally manipulated. Freudian slip. Electronically manipulated. Going It's actually a fifth, isn't it? We've got and we've got doing the same thing. Yeah, great. This is a cool section. I take it back that I didn't like this. We've got drums, haven't we? Which is also the first time we've got that. The drums in these early tracks, yeah, don't seem to be doing much, but we've got kick drum and we've got a hi-hat stick kind of sound. And the hi-hat is coming on the offbeats. And we've got bumps sometimes. Yeah, no, it's so the kick drum's coming on the well, if we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, the kick drum is coming on 2 and 4. And then yeah, the hi-hats are coming on most of the offbeats, but they've got nothing on 1 and 3. Good night. Thanks for joining. And we've also got bass, and we also haven't got the piano. So there is a big, almost entire textural shift between the pre-chorus and the chorus, or the hook here, which is unusual to get just a total shift. It's usual that the texture builds, and that is what happens, but the instrumentation is entirely different, which is really strange. It's a really strange thing to do. It brings us to a totally different world as that hook begins, which I guess is, I don't know what the story of this song is really, but like, what, once you murder someone, there's no coming back, you're in a new world. Well, we'll see if there's no coming back if the piano comes in. Actually, does it? This is another verse, but we've got more words, which is interesting. Slightly different textural feel because of that. And our ensemble has really gone for what we got into the chorus with. It is thinner broadly. We don't have that melody, that kind of thing, which is the highlight of the track so far. So it's a bit of a shame we don't have it. But what we do have is a lower, sort of almost guitar-y kind of sounding thing, taking the place of the arpeggiated piano from the first verse. We've got bass. We had bass in the previous section, I can't remember. Okay, in the pre-chorus, that hi-hat in the left ear comes back in, so that was absent for the verse there. Ticka 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 ticka, doing that kind of thing. And we also get this new element doing this kind of thing, which we did have a little bit of in the piano in the first part, but actually that came in the verse as opposed to in the pre-chorus. Or let's say, so that melody is actually in 3 different octaves. It's there, and it's there. So it's probably played on several different instruments, and this feels thicker now than it did before. That might be because of this. It might be because we've got 3 different octaves giving that melody. But yeah, it feels pretty dense now. Kind of crazy cymbal manipulation there as we're getting out of this section into an exploration. Should be song. Yeah, interesting chords, interesting, again, absolute texture change. Let's hear it again. Well, no, let's hear the change. Yeah, wow, it's suddenly gone quite industrial. We've got a lot of distortion, we've got a lot of synthesizers, we've lost the plinky things. We've got nothing that sounds like piano in here anymore. We've got bass still, we've got drums still, but the drums sound a lot more souped up, a lot more aggressive. Yeah, and the vocal sounds impassioned in a way that I guess it hasn't previously. It sounded a little bit softer, but here we're really, on the emotional upheaval moment. So this is an irregular bridge section for Aurora. Normally we would come down in the bridge section in texture. We lose a lot of the instruments. Here we have intensified, thickened quite considerably. We've got a real zzz buzzing through, and we've got those semiquavers in the hi-hats, which I think now are over in the right ear as opposed to the left ear. So even that element, which is staying the same, has moved over to the other ear. So a real switch up in a lot of ways. We've got some things that are approaching harmony vocals, like a kind of sound, but again it's put through a distortion and maybe a filter to ring the humanity back to the beginning. So that bridge, well, it was an irregular one because it was loud and heavy and heavier than the chorus. We could see it as a post-chorus, in which case it would make sense that it was intensifying in that way. We haven't really got a chorus in this song at all. I guess 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is our chorus, and that's just come straight after the bridge, but didn't come earlier than that, except right at the beginning. That's some chorus. And now, when it's come here, it feels more like the appropriate bridge because it's come down in texture. We've gone back to our original texture, I guess. You can come back from murder then. We've gone back to our original texture and it's come down. And again, we got a dropout just before the next section again. I'm so tired of it, but it happens so often. I just put up with it. And then, yeah, what's happening now? Well, this is a new melody over the texture of the bridge. So, okay, maybe we just remembered what it was like before we murdered, but we're back in the murder. This is very highly irregular, actually, highly unusual to be back in the bridge after taking a departure from it. That's really unusual, and it's clearly that. It's clearly not the chorus or the hook at all. And we're building. There's sort of fun extra sort of melodies buzzing through, real thick electronic melodies going kind of that kind of thing. Sometimes a little bit higher, just buzzing through the texture. I've misjudged this one. That's very satisfying. The merge of those two. It's a classic thing to do, actually, Aurora, isn't it? In these outros, which are freer, and we're not beholden to following a particular formula here, there are a few things that are more likely to happen, and one of them is a merger of two different melodic sections, and that's just what we've got here. We've got the what feels like the terminal. Sorry, I've written terminal here, but it's not really a terminal. It's a back to the bridge section. We've got that bridge section. I guess it has a new melody on it, so we could call that new melody the terminal climax. But we've also now got that second hook, that hook from the chorus placement, which wasn't our real chorus. Gosh, this is a more confusing one than I remembered. We've got that layered over the top. So again, this easy polyphony. It's lovely. Lovely, powerful change, and the two textures together is so thick and strong and quite surprisingly clear considering. And yeah, I'm not talking about the harmony, but goes well. So back to the chorus, if you like, just to finish on. Back to the chorus texture, except no harmony vocals, one vocal. So I said they were equivalent at the beginning, but it doesn't feel equivalent in this situation, does it? It feels quite open, quite vulnerable with only the one vocal where we once had three. And then we get a solo voice to finish. What's the material? It's sort of like the pre-chorus material, really, and it has the "and here I go," which we could see as that chorus line. that's what we end on, without any big textural change at the end, just with a fade out. Devastating, really. I've revised my opinion on that one now. I think that's great. Really exciting song.